But sometimes traders can sit hours in front of the screen and virtually nothing is happening. No movement in the markets. It's just a waste of time sitting in front of the screen. This is one of those moments you want to be in front of the screen. You want to be in front of the screen because you want to know what's happening in the markets and how can you take advantage of what's happening. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain different aspects of what I have learned over the last 7 years. And it's very fascinating once you get to understand it and obviously you can make the best of any situation. So if you were trading Bitcoin to US dollars, you would have seen that an average of about 7.5% drop. 7.5% drop just this afternoon. That's hectic. If we take the S&P 500, that dropped 4.5%. Yes, it's 4.5% that it dropped in the same time that Bitcoin dropped 7.5%. So Bitcoin dropped double the rate that the S&P dropped. But you must remember the S&P is like huge volumes. So there is that, there's that, well, you know, obviously. But now we saw Bitcoin drop 7.5%, and now we're going to identify other coins like Cake that also took an 8.7. So Cake fell faster than Bitcoin to US dollars. So we're using the same measuring stick now. We're measuring it to US dollar drop. Then we see Waves drop 9%. I haven't nothing. I'll have to refresh this one. And AR or Arweave dropped 16% from that time there to there. So this is hectic. In fact, this is almost a better opportunity now. But we're gonna talk about this in a second. Then we look at Altcoin Trader, and we see what I've actually sold all my USDT. Who of you have been trading USDT on Altcoin Trader? That's like hectic. There's not even buying in the dips, not yet. But I've sold all my USDT. So this is exciting. Things are happening. And it's been like a 4% or so in the last 24 hours. Let's measure. At least 3.5%. That it's 5.2% that you could have up to that amount that you could have made, including all the ups and downs and the dips. So this truly is an exciting time. Now, what we're going to do is we don't know what's going to happen. I think once it hits that 1650, it's going to find some resistance and then come down before it goes further up. So, but then it's going to go up to 1750. Okay, let's get back to Bitcoin. Do we see Bitcoin shooting out the Bollinger Bands, way out the Bollinger Bands? I've been buying in little increments, down, 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 down. And now I'm accumulating cheaper Bitcoin. So my Bitcoin value has gone up. As the price goes back up again, I will my dollar value. So if I'm trading down and I've got you can see my USD orders going down. So I'm accumulating cheaper and cheaper Bitcoin. So my Bitcoin value is going up. But when the price of Bitcoin goes back up, my US dollar value goes up, not my Bitcoin value. So I want to create myself a win-win situation over here. And the way I do that is by using the Bitcoin that I'm buying in the dips to trade altcoin to Bitcoin. I'm going to use it to buy altcoin to increase my Bitcoin while the Bitcoin price is going up. So if you're only trading Bitcoin to US dollars, the price goes up, you don't increase your Bitcoin, you only increase your US dollars because you're selling it back to US dollars. But if you take your Bitcoin and you're buying something like AR and the price goes up, you're selling it back to more Bitcoin. Therefore, you're increasing both your Bitcoin and your US dollar value. Now, I've just told you a secret now. I don't know if you've caught it, but the only way you're going to catch it or understand it is by actually doing it, by seeing the exciting part. I'm going to change my graph now to a 5 minutes graph so that I want to see this, that this is not static. This is not, it's making a U-turn. Let's see if Bitcoin is also making a U-turn. Now, I would like to trade some cake, but you see, Bitcoin is turning up. So I would grab some AR at current price. Remember, I could have traded anything. I could trade anything now, right now. So I want to make sure that I bought some. I keep on refreshing my screen. I can't always trust that the internet is going to work together. Yes, AR orders went through. Right. Now, I can't expect this. Okay, this is going to go straight back up again. There's no guarantee. So I need to start thinking of placing sell orders. So I'm going to take my sell orders. And so you see I'm trading AR to US dollars now. Doesn't matter if I'm trading it to US dollars or Bitcoin. Either way, I'm scoring on this transaction. So I'm going to measure from where I bought my lowest. It was 22.82. And you folks can see how exciting this becomes. So I've got it on a 1 minute graph. As soon as I've established what the market is doing, I'm going to start placing my orders at, let's say, 1.4%. So 23.14. And then I must just make sure that there was $194. So I'm going to put, let's say, $30, $30, $30. So I'll just say $30 worth of AR, and I'm going to sell it at that price. 23.27. Another $30 worth. 23.39. $30. $23.50. $50. All right, so what I need to do is I need to make sure that the market isn't just going to turn on me and drop. I need to be prepared at all times for anything. So I will not use all my funds to buy. Okay, that's a 15-minute graph. Let's get it on a 5-minute graph and see what that looks like. Once across the SMA line, or it's going to drop underneath it. So let's recap. Bitcoin dropped 7.5%, or we've dropped 12%. Okay, I took it from from this morning, from this morning's high, 16% that it's dropped. So we want to take advantage of which is the fastest moving reversal. And it is definitely something like this. If Bitcoin starts shooting up, this one will shoot up at more than double the rate that Bitcoin fell. So if Bitcoin goes up 2%, this one would likely go up 4%. In other words, it's growing faster than Bitcoin. So you want a fast moving investment or a slow moving, and I'm not allowed to say investment. I'm just saying it's a coin that you trade. Okay, so we're waiting to see what Bitcoin does. What's Bitcoin doing? It's struggling, it's struggling, it's struggling. And let's see how it does. Let's add the RSI just to see what the RSI, how oversold it is. We'll take it on different time frames so that we get an idea. So we're starting on a 5-minute time frame. We saw a 4%, folks, 4%. This is the second time in a week that I've seen this. In fact, I haven't seen this technically for years. I have not seen this technically happen for years. That RSI drops to 4%. So that's a 5-minute. Let's try 1 minute, see how hectic that was, if that was hectic at all. %. So it wasn't that hectic on a 1 minute, but it was hectic on 5 minutes. Let's see the 15 minutes. Now 15 minutes is a very good RSI indicator. Oh, look at that, man. 3.45%. So that means that is likely a very good place to buy back into Bitcoin, or using the Bitcoin to buy into the altcoins that have dropped. I mean, that looks like a hectic rate. Let's see AR. Let's add the one-minute graph. It went as low as 19%. 5-minute graph. $11.25%. And all that means is it could have gone lower. Let's see the 15-minute graph, because I enjoy the 15-minute graphs signs, 9%. So yes, this is a nice buyback. Look, I can't tell you it's going to go up 2%, 5%, 15%, but what I'm showing you is buyback opportunities. This is how the wealthy people make money into the markets, is that they buy in the dips. Now, normally for the modern stock markets, they talk it shorting the markets. You say, I'm betting it to go down, and then you bet it by 2x, 5x, or whatever. 10x, you can go up to 100x, 100 times. You put $100 and you get $10,000 back. But if it goes the other way around, you lose $10,000 off your portfolio. So that's always the risk that we're talking. All right, so we see some nice reversal over there. I'm going to take it to a 1 minute graph just to monitor what's happening. We saw 9% there. Let's see, I'm just going to see. This one is a low volume coin and it's been dropping and dropping and dropping. I want to keep monitoring what it's doing. Waves dropped 9%. I'm going to close it. Cake. Let's refresh this because there was a signal out on NAV. NAV hitting rock bottom and wanting to turn up. Okay, let's get it back to BTC and AR. So we could be getting ready for the next rally, the next move, next drop. So we still have to be careful. We still can't use all our funds to buy in. Doesn't help you, the market. Let's make this full screen. Doesn't help we make the market is dropping. We get excited. We start buying in the dips. It goes up and we expect it to go up to there. And then somewhere along the line, it just carries on because it's got a resistance line coming. Then it drops further. Then you feel like, no, maybe you bought too early or you sold too late. So those are always the things that we want to keep in mind. Remove drawings so they're out of our way. Any questions, folks? Right, so yes, it could go anyway now because we might be seeing an ascending wedge. But we keep an eye on Bitcoin. Because as soon as Bitcoin is showing us the red lights, then we know. You can see I've got my orders lower. Now what we want to do is while we're waiting through this indecisive time, let's have a look at if there's anything on the market that's somebody's taking advantage of. Oh, there's a new coin that's just been launched. Okay, let's see. Okay, so they're measuring it from there to where it is now, but it's been pretty going sideways. But that can go anywhere. Team, multi, one inch. Let's see what's happening with 1 inch. So while everyone's watching Bitcoin, these other coins are being traded at heavy rates. high rates. So 1 inch has been less responsive than all the other coins because the drop that it dropped was very much small. So 2%. 2% drop. That's nice. So we've got a very nice coin going up here, but we have to go and look at what is this doing. Let's go on one day graph because some of these coins are just recovering. You can see it's hit a support line, and we must draw in a resistance line. Okay, there's a resistance line going like that, and then there's one going like that. See, touching, touch, touch. So it just needs trying to break through this. What it normally would do is to get it on a 4-hour graph, it would kind of do this. With a little bit of play either side. Otherwise, if a Bitcoin keeps on dropping, then this one could go down to there and then start breaking out through there. So this is always an interesting one to watch. Coins at their rock bottom price, and this is one of the things that I wanted to mention earlier to you folks, is when we look at the all-time high price of some of these coins, this one was 16,000 and it's on 3,400. So its potential to go back up to its previous high is 5x. It's not that great, but it's still great if it's moving. So I'm going to say that again. For it to get to its previous high is 5x, which is not so great, but because it's if it moves quickly, then it's great. Quite a few years ago, we were trading PivX on Poloniex, on Bittrex, and we saw how quickly it went up. It went up more than 20 times its value in a short period of time, which was exciting because I mean, that was return on investment. And hopefully May is going to do this for us. Right. Let's get back to Bitcoin. It's looking for a floor. It's actually found almost like a flat resistance line over there. We don't need the Bollinger Bands right now. We can get rid of them. Bollinger Bands just show you that when we looked at, let's go on different time frames while we're watching this. Different time frames are going to show us different size Bollinger Bands. So there's nothing strange about today's graph. It has been in a descending channel and it's just broken through the bottom of it. If I change it to a 4-hour graph, let's have a look what that looks like. Just breaking out the Bollinger Bands, still channel, everything is kosher. Just been pushing the Bollinger Band and it could break totally out there and drop to the next level. 1-hour graph, and this is where things start changing because your Bollinger Bands are more elastic. Right now, it's not even back in the Bollinger Band. So I say it's an ideal buy, 15% RSI, right there, 36,000. Awesome. Awesome buyback because somehow it has to move, it has to rise, even if it's a little bit back into the Bollinger Band at 37 or 38,000. So sudden drop, it's still outside the Bollinger Band. In other words, Bitcoin is safe to buy according to that. According to the 1 hour graph, let's take I can go to a 30-minute graph too. Let me do 30 minutes. I know altcoin trader loves their 30 minutes. 6%. That is hectic, folks. 6%, and it's still sitting on 13%. That's crazy. Okay, so, and moving sideways back into starting to touch. So on the 1 hour, it's out of the Bollinger Bands. On the 30 minutes, it's coming in. So in other words, between a 30 and 1 hour, it should be back into safety. Then the next one is a 15-minute graph. And we saw a 5%, as low as 4.5% on the RSI. It went way out there, but then the Bollinger Band caught up. And it's inside the Bollinger Band. So we know that between 15 and 30 minutes, we should be seeing that recovery or a further drop. So one of the two. But of course, this is what often happens is the following. And that's why I have those orders there. I'm not that optimistic that says, no, it's just going to go up. It might do that on a 20% or a 15% before it does that. So we want to, everything we're doing now, scalp trading and day trading, we are no longer planning trades for tomorrow or the next day. We are not planning anything. Don't leave any trades open. Unless you're placing orders down, which I'm doing. 5 minutes. In a tight pinch on the Bollinger Band. So we got a different story. And then that was 5%. So between 3 and 5% is pretty hectic. And of course, when the Bollinger Bands start pinching like that, we are about to see a next sudden drop. And not just the next sudden drop or a next sudden bull run. Of course, it's in between the two there. In other words, this is coming into a narrowing pipe. Then we go into, and the 1 minute graph will tell us maybe we're already there. Put it on auto. So the 1 minute's still saying, okay, we more or less equal to there. So we're going to keep an eye on this. That's the only thing we can do. We're keeping an eye on what's going on. So I need to either sell the Bitcoin that I bought in the dip there or stack orders going up. Okay, so while that's busy happening, I will go and look at my other coins that I'm trading and see where and how I can make some profits on the way back up again. Great, folks. I hope you guys have got an idea. We will be posting posts as we go through the day, the night, and yes, make some money. Always buy rather in the dips than try and buy on the wave. And don't buy on the wave and walk away from the screen, because that means you're not planning right. Fantastic. Hopefully you all have a great evening and great trading.